Hello. This is a video I filmed several weeks ago when I put this freebie up on Kofi, but I never released it, and I thought it would be perfect for the ABC April 2025 collaboration for closure. So it's all sped up from here. I printed my postcards. As you could see, I did a little bit of editing on them before I made them a digital, and folded them over and glued them together to make them a little bit more solid. And this is printed on heavyweight photo paper. So I glue those down. Then before I ink them, I just distressed the edges a little bit to give them a little bit of a textured edge. And then I go ahead and ink both of those postcards. I thought this project would be very simple and straightforward and perfect for C, closure. I grab my scrap box of fabrics and trims, and I'm just literally going to audition a few things here. I am going to use that green trim on the right a little bit later. So I'm just pulling out little pieces of lace, laying them down, seeing what looks good, just to decorate that postcard a little bit really, because they are quite plain and we wanted to give a little bit of interest to our closures. So that one I decide to add as an angle, and all I'm going to do is make a little kind of fabric cluster here at the bottom. I think I decide not to use that label in the end, but just pull out a few little things. I think I find that piece of tulle, and I'm just going to cut around that. Very simple, and like I said, absolutely no sewing on these because I filmed this when I didn't have an actual working sewing machine. So I decide, like I said, I'm going to staple that to keep it really simple. You could obviously stitch this if you wanted to. This is just an idea of how to use postcards as a closure, and of course if you've got postcards you'd like to use, you can do this on an actual postcard. This was just a digital. So I'm using glue as I'm not using any stitching here. I decide to put this one at an angle, like I said, so I'm going to take my pencil and at the bottom and the side just put a little pencil mark so I know where to put my glue, because I decided I'd turn that one into a little pocket just to add another little element later on to that particular piece. Just using up these scrap pieces of lace out of my box, a little bit more glue, and pop that down into place. I decide to use a little bit of my tape, vintage tape, and just burnish that down. Now I'm going to go through my Tim Holtz stencils and just grab one that looks a little bit grungy, using my brush to apply a little bit of ink, holding it in place. And I really did like the effect of that on that pink. I thought it was really cool. And again, same on the other postcard, a little bit of ink. Now I use my little board and my ruler to line up. I just take it slightly above halfway and use my awl to add a couple of holes on that. And then I'm going to grab my eyelets and my crocodile, and I'm going to add those to the sides of my postcard. I use Corey's paintbrush technique just to make that hole a little bit bigger to get my eyelet in, and then set those into place. I use the first postcard as a template to put the holes in the second one, and do exactly the same. Add my holes, make the holes a little bit bigger, and add my eyelets. So now you can grab any kind of closure you would like to use. So you could use sari silk, you could use ribbon, you could use twine if you want to keep this a really low cost project. I'm going to poke that ribbon. It's kind of a cotton ribbon. I'm poking that through, and I'm going to go round twice, but you could just go round once if you wanted to. Just trying to even that out. Cut off the extra, and I'm going to tie this to the right hand side. So the prototype I made, I used an actual postcard, so you don't have to use digitals for this project, but postcards make fabulous closures. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all again really soon. Bye.